Howdy. And rankings. I do them. Like, a lot of them. Suggestions. I get them. Like, a lot of them. And weapons. Holy balls, a lot of them. Yep, that's right. The Howdy Man is finally doing it. I am going to be ranking the weapons in Skyrim from worst to best, but in order to maintain my sanity and ensure that a straitjacket stays far away from me, I am going to be dividing this into sections based on weapon type. So for the first episode, as you probably already seen, we are starting off with the basic boy one, the swords and greatsword. Then we are moving on to their barbaric cousins, the axes. Then hammers, bows, daggers, and lastly staves. Boy, do I love giving myself a lot of work to do. Can I ever rest? Can I ever just have a rest? Nope, because I'm a workaholic. So let's just hop right into it. Oh yeah, wait, a few notes beforehand. Firstly, we are solely basing these rankings off of their visual design. I know a lot of people want to know the rankings based on their stats, but honestly, Skyrim is so obvious about which ones are the better ones. So I feel that that's kind of pointless. And if you really want to know about which weapons are the best in Skyrim that have unique effects and stuff, there are at least 1.5 billion other videos on that subject on this cesspool of a website that has that information for you. Here at Longbrow Gaming, we make jokes and laugh a lot, okay? Also, these are my opinion, obviously. So let's go ahead and get started with the overall pretty positive ranking. Yeah, I like most of these. Yeah. The wooden sword is the worst, and if any of you want to hop in the comments like, does this dude even know anything about Skyrim? If he did, he would know that the wooden sword is actually a masterpiece in world building design. Be my guest to comment that, because if you do, well, I can't do anything. It's over the internet, so I will simply just ignore them. I mean, are you really surprised? Yeah, this sword is iconic since it's most players' first weapons ever, but look at it. It's the most generic hunk of metal ever conceived by mankind. Okay, I feel kind of bad for putting this one so low, but I mean, again, just look at it. I usually give entries in my rankings a funny one-liner or something like that to keep the video interesting, but what can I say? This is the only somewhat unique part, but unique is a very kind word for that. The ancient Nord sword looks like someone got a bunch of sticks and taped them together and then dipped it into a jar of tar. The dang thing is so black you can't make out any of the detail. But the sad thing is, when you actually can make out the detail, it's actually kind of cool looking. Other than this down here. What is this for? To open a cold bottle of Nuka-Cola? Did Todd get confused again? The FALMER sword makes me feel uncomfortable. It looks like it would be moist, and I don't like that. And I mean, the blade looks kind of neat, but this down here looks like it's caring about every disease known to mankind. I really want to like the blood scythe, or the scimitar. I don't know how to pronounce that. But come on, it looks like a toy people would get for their kids to play with at Dollar General. It's so bright and bulky, it looks plastic and so weird. I wish I liked this one more, my friends, but to me it just looks so fake. The steel sword is basically the bottom line when it comes to the saying. Yeah, I mean, that definitely looks like a Skyrim sword. Nothing that would make me punch the nearest wall in excitement, though. The dwarven sword is too, what's the word again? Oh yeah, meh. It's just a straight line. I do like the embroideries down here, but that's about it. At least his bigger brother is higher on the list. Hey, yo, guys, don't hang me for putting the ORCISH greatsword so low, but when I point something out, you will probably start to agree with me. It looks like a scaled up dagger. Done. The FORSWORN sword is not a sword. It's something to clean out orc toilets. But I don't really think it falls under the classification of sword, I'm sorry. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad, but to me it just looks odd to be classified as a sword. So, feathers. The elven sword would be better if they had less feathers. Let's move on. Okay. I like the hilt design and stuff, but why? Why is it so bulky? This whole area here looks so much bigger and fatter than it should. The silver greatsword really dropped the ball on what could have been a great sword in my opinion. Now this is better than the upscaled dagger. I like the orcish design on the regular orc sword, but the freaking color, my gosh, it could burn down a building with the sun reflection pointed in the right direction. Look at it. Ah, a good old katana. The AKAVIRI blade looks, well, I want to say good, but the handle looks like a bunch of slugs hoarding together for warmth. But I think from a distance, if you rub your eyes in sand, it actually kind of looks pretty good. Ah, the Dwarven greatsword is a pretty good one all around. I love the markings all in it. The overall brassish, it's a weird word, and bronzish aesthetic. It looks like a variant on what comes to mind when I think of the word greatsword. I don't really have anything funny to say about it, so yeah, I got nothing. The steel greatsword is just another generic sword, but with a cool pattern and extra pokey bits, so it gets a few extra points. I don't really like the random leather strap here. It looks like a big random, brown box slapped on it. Next. Here's another pretty boring one. Welcome to the boring section, my friends. But the Imperial sword gets a few bonus points for the symbol on the hilt, and the overall design is actually simple, but I think it's kind of effective. But this down here looks like an inflatable pull floaty thing. The ancient Nord greatsword is way better than it has any right being. I mean, these are wielded by beef jerky on legs, but the handle is great, the pattern is amazing, and there's a bunch of tiny details like the veiny bits going up the blade. If only it had better stats. Wow, look at the difference color really makes. Before I really didn't like the design because the color was but now it looks pretty good. Not the best in the game because this down here still looks really stupid, but holy crap, is it an improvement. This is the ancient Nord hero sword rather than the ancient Nord sword because it was well taken care of. Yeah. See, this is what the greatsword could have been. This is the standard silver sword, and it might have the opposite issue of its brother. The blade looks a little too small. It looks like a male knife, honestly. The ancient Nord sword looks like a graphical error, but the drain heart actually looks pretty sick. It's hard to obtain this sword, but the ghost appearance is very unique, and it looks like a less flashy bound weapon. I like it, but it's still the same odd design. What? An ebony sword this low? Longbrow, have you lost your mind? Well, yeah, but besides that, this looks kind of stupid. The entire handle is just a mishmash of shapes. It looks like an H.R. Giger painting, and the blade is weirdly bent, and it looks like it was rubbed in charcoal. Yep, another ebony weapon pretty low. The Giger is still coming out down here, but the design on the blade is admittedly amazing. But look at how much of this weapon is actually effective as a sword. That's about half the blade. What? I absolutely love the bird design on the Elven Greatsword. In these rankings, one thing I have learned is how much the elves love their bird designs, and this is probably one of the coolest executions of it. The only downside is that down here it's really big and looks really stupid. This looks weird. I think I want to like the Nordic sword more than I do. I do like it, but I want to like it more because I really like the idea that it's going for. But this is a really odd blade shape and it's really throwing me off. And the hilt doesn't look quite right. I think it's supposed to be fur, but it looks just like a bunch of random feathers you picked up off the ground. The STALHRIM greatsword is good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like the color and the fur. It does have a pretty generic aspects to it other than the things that I mentioned, but those things that I mentioned I really like. And I also really like the hilt. And this down here is dumb, and the blade kind of looks like, icy plastic, so The standard STALHRIM sword, I think, inches out past the greatsword because, to me, the blade works a little bit better in a shorter version and doesn't look so, dumb. So, yeah, again, both the STALHRIM swords are good, but not great. Simple, elegant, and stylish. I like the glass sword, okay? I know it's not Kill Heimsker sort of amazing, but it's still good. I don't really have any complaints, but also nothing massively impressive. I see this as just an overall better elven sword. MIRAAK's sword is a very unique butterfly, since it looks like a breathing nightmare. I love the moving parts and the unique vibe it has, but I despise the color. It looks like a salad left on the counter for a week. unique. Before starting this video, I could have sworn that the DAWNBREAKER would be my favorite sword of all time, but after comparing it to the rest, I'm pretty disappointed with it. I mean, yeah, there's no denying the hilt and the glow is awesome, but the handle and the blade are just the definition of generic. Really disappointed for the potential it had, but it's still a good sword. The Dragonbone. What is down here? What do? Hook my keyring to it? That's distracting, like wearing a fruit hat in church. But yeah, it's a sword, and I love the design and especially the color. I really like the simplistic aesthetic, so yeah, it's a real good one. The Dragonbone Greatsword is pretty good one. Simple enough and nothing offensive. Oh wait, I take that back. This down here is here again. It looks stupid. Other than the weird decisions, I love the blade especially the color. It's so bright, it basically glows at certain angles. Overall, another really good one. I feel like I'm complaining a lot about some good swords. I guess I'm being picky. I'm sorry. I'm kind of being a pessimist. The ebony blade is definitely what the ebony weapon should be. It has one of the coolest handles, if not the coolest handle in the entire game. I adore the design, even as it travels up the blade. It's so sick looking. My only complaint is that the blade is very thin towards the bottom, and it kind of looks like you're using a spaghetti noodle down there, but it looks amazing overall. The Nordic Hero Greatsword is the same as the ancient one, just, well, you know, after getting the power washer treatment. So yeah, it's all the compliments I gave to the standard Nordic Greatsword, except it's way better because the color isn't disgusting. The DAWDREAK Greatsword is the edgiest weapon in the game, I think. I mean, look at all the divots and the blades on this thing, which makes me think this is very unrealistic, because getting this out of a holster would be impossible. But yeah, I love the red and black aesthetic. And yeah, it's beyond edgy, but come on, it looks really cool. We have to just admit it looks cool. Another pretty good one. I like it. I don't really know if some of you are screaming at your screen right now for me saying this is better than the Greatsword. I just think it's better for being less edgy. And I adore the silver and black divide here. It just looks great. It's way simpler and more effective to me. Now, the glass greatsword looks dope. The unique shape, the incredible colors, and overall engaging design leads to an awesome weapon. There's not any real big downsides, honestly. We're moving into the really good weapon. It does look like this girl here sort of yanked it off a display in an old rich guy's house or something, but I think it looks sick. Now, the BLOODSKAL blade looks wholly different in this game. Looks like a freaking Aztec greatsword. I love the colors and overall simple yet very effective design. This one is another banger. HARKON sword. The hilt is a freaking H. Original. Why am I insulting this sword? It looks freaking amazing, dude. It doesn't look like spaghetti. It isn't misshapen. This sword is dope. I just had to point out the weird H thing. Now this is what the other ebony weapons could have been if they put more effort into them. Even the ebony blade if it tried a little harder. The Nightingale blade looks phenomenal with the best hilt in the game in my opinion. It has a black color scheme that isn't tar and a slim fitting look, and the blade might be simple, but to me it works better with the design, even better than the Dawn Guard or Dawnbreaker. I mean, crap. Now people are gonna make fun of me in the comments. This sword is perfect. Yeah, I love this one. Now this is what I think of when I think of a Nordic sword, baby. The fur wrapped in the middle here is way better than just a leather piece of slap on there. The incredible hilt and the design is fantastic. Like holy balls, the ancient Nords ain't got crap on what the Nords are rocking now. I can say that much. This is my favorite sword in the game, honestly. A lot of you disagree with me. Some of you will probably throw the FORSWORN sword at #1, but hey, that's okay. We have our own opinions, and this is just a stupid internet video. But hey, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Keep a lookout for the future installments of this weapons ranked series. But hey, maybe join my Discord or follow me on Twitter. Check the description for those. I've had these for quite a while now, but I've never plugged them, but I'm gonna start doing that. So yeah, anyways, thanks guys. See ya.